Good morning, and welcome to the virtual worship service of the Unitarian Universalist Meeting House of Provincetown, where we affirm the inherent worth and dignity of every person, and where we support each other in our spiritual search for truth and meaning. My name is Reverend Kate Wilkinson, and I'm so glad that you have joined us this week. I especially want to welcome folks from the UU congregation of South County, Rhode Island, who are joining us this morning. We're so glad that you are here. Today we celebrate our Lessons and Carols service, and the worship committee of the Unitarian Universalist Meeting House of Provincetown is going to help me to share readings and carols of the season. I hope that you all had a peaceful, restful Christmas. I know it wasn't the Christmas any of us had imagined, but I hope there was still room for joy in your day. It is so wonderful to be connected during this holiday season, even though we aren't together in the same room. So as a symbol of that, I invite you now to light a candle wherever you are, as I light our chalice here in the sanctuary of the meeting house. In that way, we can feel connected even while we are apart.
Good morning. In preparation for our sacred time together, we light our chalice both here and where you are, and we'll mark this time with the Christmas poem by Ellen Fay. It is the winter season of the year, dark and chilly. Perhaps it is a winter season in your life, dark and chilly there too. Come into Christmas here. Let the light and warmth of Christmas brighten our lives and our world. Let us find in the dark corners of our souls the light of hope, a vision of the extraordinary within the ordinary. Let us find rest in the quiet of a holy moment, to find promise and renewal. Let us find the child in each of us, the new hope, the new light, born in us. Then Christmas will come. Then will magic return to the world. May it be so.
Love is the spirit of this meeting house. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
A Christmas Prayer with 7 Words by Rebecca Parker. We remember the Magi, observers of stars, evidence-based seekers who found their way to kneel before a baby. May we too kneel before life's intricate mysteries, following the path of science-based searchers for truth. We remember Mary, birth mother of a revolutionary prophet. The fetus in her womb, a surprise. Her choice, a decision to magnify her hope. The birth difficult, attended by a beautiful diversity of animals and a ragtag gathering of vulnerable people. May we, too, kneel at the cradle of Earth's dreams for peace and dedicate ourselves to revolutionary love. We remember Joseph, unexpectant father, who embraced the baby as his own, believing that every child has a God-given entitlement to love and care. May we, too, stand by the women and children of this world when patriarchal privilege and power threaten their freedom and put their well-being at risk. We remember the angels singing in a cold night to the overtaxed poor, promising peace and goodwill to all. May we echo their song in acts of solidarity and justice for all souls, refugee souls, disabled souls, Black souls, young souls, transgender souls. May we join the bold, holy movement to bring heaven to earth. May the morning star brighten our hope for a new day, and may laughter strengthen all our prayers. Amen.
No Room at the Inn by Bonaro Overstreet. And she brought forth her firstborn son, and wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them at the inn. Luke chapter 2, verse 7. There is never room at the inn. There is never room. In the warm, well-lighted hostel for those who come, poor, unrecommended, without connections, seeking a place to bring a new dream to birth. The night clerk is overbusy. Important guests are demanding all the attention he can give. He would turn the strangers away with curt refusal and put an end to the matter. We're all filled up. But there's likely to be somebody standing around, the assistant manager maybe, or a bellhop, who overhears and is troubled. It's bleak outdoors and late, and these people are driven. And besides, there's something about them. He doesn't exactly know what exactly, but he wouldn't feel easy himself about turning them out. He speaks in an undertone, and the bustling clerk lends grudgingly impatient ear and says to the strangers, "There's a shed out back. You might find it better than nothing." There is never room at the inn. And the dream is born in the windy stable, making its own warmth, making its own clear light, and borrowing comfort from the simple, placid beasts and the stable hand who comes and stands in the doorway, fidgeting with his wish to help, and who digs up an extra blanket and does not say that it comes from his own bed. The dream is born without a headline report. For a day or two, there is talk where housewives meet. My husband says it's risky letting them stay there. People like that. It wouldn't surprise me any to learn some things are missing after they leave. My brother stopped to talk with the stable hand. He says that they're all right, decent and quiet. Well, there's something queer about them. I always say. There are those who maneuver errands to take them clothes, to open door of the stable, and there are those who manage, when no one is looking, to carry over a kettle of steaming soup and a share shawl. In the world as the world is, the dream starts growing. And then there comes the day of astonishment. Strangers rich in wisdom and this world's goods appear in town. Eyes stare and rumors fly. Then it comes out. They are famous, important men from somewhere off on the other side of the world. And they've come all this way to visit these folks in the stable. Very first thing, they are asked where they could be found. And they went down there, went right into the place. And a man who was watching says they took out gifts, expensive, beautiful gifts that would make your eyes pop right out of your head. They talked a while and then disappeared as suddenly as they came. Something peculiar is going on. Those people down there, maybe there's someone important here in disguise. I say they ought to be watched. Those men who came, they were foreigners, weren't they? The manager of the inn hears the rumors and has no way to decide. Which are true? If these are important people, they should be in his best rooms, not there out back. He knows how to handle guests, could even arrange a special event in their honor. On the other hand, if they're troublemakers of some sort, either way, he stands to be made a fool. And the local wise men who ought to be able to help him are dunderheads. They fumble and they mumble. So the manager decides to go out and take a look for himself. Go and talk to the strangers. Put it up to them that his inn has a solid, respectable reputation, that he can't afford to have anyone staying around who's out of the ordinary run, who starts people talking. Then word is brought. The strangers have gone in the night. They have simply vanished. They didn't take anything. But it's queer. They'd want to go slipping away like that. Not telling a soul about it? The stable hand picks up the folded blanket they left behind and smooths it with lonely fingers. He's going to miss them. There is never room at the inn. And the kind stable is but a starting place for the growing dream.
holding the baby ourselves. Reading by Tom Shade. Nativity scenes and creches always seem so quiet, calm, peaceful, a still tableau. But I am sure that all the animals are shifting around and making their animal noises, while the chickens fly up and walk along the edge of the manger, and the dogs are taking offense at this and barking and jumping up at them to get them down. I think about being there back on that day, so succinctly and sparingly described in the Gospels, when Jesus and Mary and all the brother and sister animals and the shepherds and the kings of wisdom all converged on that one tiny little stable to be with a new mother and her new baby. And there I am, lurking in the corner, fleece parka, maybe some of those Timberland boots, blue jeans and all. Haven't you ever had that thought? I want to be there in that stable. I would be helpful and appropriate, I promise. I would run and get some water and boil it on a campfire outside, and then get some towels from whatever linen closet they would have at the inn, because I know that you need hot water and towels to have a baby. And I would keep the animals back and away from Mary during labor. And I would have one of those man-to-man conversations with Joseph as he waited for his first child, reassuring him that while his life would be very different once the baby came, it would be better. I would try to remember those breathing exercises, and if I could remember them, I hope that they would be useful. If I could be there, I'm sure I could think of something to do that would be of help. And in return, I would ask for only one thing. Sometime during that night, Mary and Joseph, would you let me hold the baby? Is there anything in this world like holding a newborn baby? The way that their eyes search through the world of strange shapes and bright colors and finally settle on your eyes, making human contact. They seem to be little ships coming slowly out of the fog of wherever it is they are coming from, into the safer harbor of the human family. The way that their bodies fit so naturally into our arms, settling into the curves and hollows of the body, those tiny, perfect fingers, the scrunched up little faces, they make you want to scrunch up your own face and say, ooh, and shudder yourself. And such dense bundles of mighty power all held in your arms. When you hold a baby, there in your arms is the seed of what could be a long life, all the works and deeds of a lifetime, all the people to be touched and changed and loved by this little person here. You think of the many more babies that may be born because this baby, the one here in your arms, will have lived. You think of all the music to be sung by them, all the beauty to be created by them, all the wondrous inventions and discoveries they will make. You hold a baby, you hold an unlimited future. To have held that baby that night, G.K. Chesterton writes that after the story of that night was told, we will always make the remarkable association between divinity and infancy, and always see something holy in a picture of a mother holding a baby in her arms. because of that baby and that mother and that night. And it then follows to me that since all of us, even the most difficult and the most despised among us, were once just babies too, that the power of that one baby is that he calls us to hold each other in our arms as a precious gift. The story says that the shepherds and the foreign kings all worshipped the baby Jesus. That doesn't sound right to me. Or it sounds incomplete and inaccurate. Actually more distant and disembodied or something. I'm sure that there was more touching involved, more cuddling, more baby holding going on than what the gospel writers have included in their stories. There was a circle of love formed there, a communion of caring. And it is into that communion that I wish to be.
The Moment of Magic by Victoria Stafford. Now is the moment of magic when the whole round earth turns again toward the sun, and here's a blessing. The days will be longer and brighter now, even before the winter settles in to chill us. Now is the moment of magic when people beaten down and broken with nothing left but misery and candles and their own clear voices kindle tiny lights and whisper secret music. And here's a blessing. The dark universe is suddenly illuminated by the lights of the menorah, suddenly ablaze with the lights of the Kanara, and the whole world is glad and loud with winter singing. Now is the moment of magic. when an eastern star beckons the ignorant towards an unknown goal, and here's a blessing, they find nothing but an ordinary baby born at midnight, born in poverty, and the baby's cry like bells ringing makes people wonder as they wander through their lives what human life and love might really look like, sound like, feel like. Now is the moment of magic, and here's a blessing. We already possess all the gifts we need. We already received our presents. Ears to hear music, eyes to behold lights, hands to build true peace on earth, and to hold each other tight in love.